why you feel different, and the first steps of growth. Have you ever felt like the world was moving in one direction, yet you were walking in another? Like the rhythm of life was creating a noise that only you seemed to notice? Perhaps you always knew, deep down, that you were not like everyone else. You felt the pull of something greater, something unseen. You lived in the same world as everyone else, yet you saw it differently. You questioned it when others didn't. You searched for meaning when others were content with distractions. You, my friend, are a chosen one. But what does it mean to be chosen? And why is the path of growth so insane, so transformative, so utterly unlike anything you could have imagined? Let us begin here. The moment you realize you're different is not the moment you are chosen. You have been chosen all along. That realization is simply the door opening. And when it opens, growth begins. But growth, real spiritual growth, is not comfortable. It's not easy. It's not linear. It's like being ripped apart and put back together again, over and over, until you don't even recognize the version of yourself you started with. So let's dive into this journey together, step by step, as we uncover the 5 insane growth experiences you will face in your spiritual awakening. The first step is always the hardest. It's the realization that everything you thought you knew about yourself, about the world, about life, is an illusion. This isn't just an intellectual understanding. It's a visceral, gut-wrenching experience. You begin to see through the layers of conditioning that have been placed upon you since birth. The beliefs you've inherited from your family, your culture, and society start to crumble. And as they fall away, you are left standing in a vast, empty space. It's terrifying, isn't it? To realize that the structures you relied on for your sense of identity were never real in the first place. But here's the thing. That emptiness is not a void. It's a canvas. It's the space where your true self begins to emerge. And that emergence is where the first insane growth happens. You start to see yourself not as a collection of roles or labels, but as something infinite, something beyond definition. You realize you're not your job, your relationships, or even your thoughts. You are the awareness behind all of it. Think about that for a moment. If you are not your thoughts, then who are you? Have you ever truly sat with that question? Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. As this realization deepens, something incredible happens. You begin to see the interconnectedness of everything. You notice how the same patterns that exist in your mind exist in nature, in relationships, in the universe itself. This is the second layer of growth, the opening of perception. Your senses sharpen, your intuition becomes stronger. You start to notice things you never noticed before, the way a single moment can hold infinite beauty, the way the universe speaks to you in subtle symbolic ways. Have you ever seen a sunset and felt like it was speaking directly to your soul? That's not a coincidence. That's the universe reminding you of your connection to it, of your place within it. But with this heightened perception comes a challenge. You begin to feel everything more deeply. The joy, yes, but also the pain. The suffering of others becomes your suffering. The wounds you've carried for years, the ones you buried so deep you convinced yourself they didn't exist, rise to the surface. This is the third layer of growth, the healing crisis. It's messy, it's painful, but it's necessary. Because you cannot carry the weight of your old self into the new version of you that is being born. During this phase, you will be tempted to turn back, to numb yourself, to retreat into the comfort of the familiar. But let me tell you something, growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the fire. And every time you face that fire, every time you allow yourself to feel the pain, the grief, the fear, you are burning away what no longer serves you. You are making space for something greater. And here's where the real magic begins. As you heal, as you shed the layers of your old self, you begin to access a power within you that you never knew existed. This is the fourth layer of growth, the awakening of your inner power. It's not the kind of power the world celebrates, not power over others, but power over yourself. The power to create your reality, the power to manifest your dreams, the power to stand in your truth, no matter what. Have you ever felt that power? That unshakable knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're meant to do. This power doesn't come from outside of you. It comes from within. It's always been there, waiting for you to uncover it. But to access it, you must trust yourself. You must trust the process, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Because here's the truth. Sometimes things have to fall apart so they can come back together in a way that's even more beautiful than before. And as you step into this power, you begin to notice something extraordinary. The world around you starts to change. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. People come into your life at exactly the right moment. Synchronicities become a daily occurrence. This is the fifth layer of growth, alignment with the flow of the universe. It's like stepping into a river and allowing it to carry you, trusting that it will take you exactly where you need to go. But here's the catch. The river doesn't always flow the way you expect it to. Sometimes it takes you down a path that feels like a detour. Sometimes it forces you to confront fears you thought you had left behind. And sometimes it asks you to let go of things, people, beliefs, dreams that you thought were essential to your happiness. And this is where the real work lies. Can you trust the river, even when you don't understand where it's taking you? Can you surrender to the flow, even when it feels like you're losing control? Take a moment to ask yourself this. What are you holding on to right now that is keeping you from fully stepping into the flow? What would happen if you let it go? How pain, surrender, and awakening shape your divine path. The spiritual journey is not for the faint of heart. It's not a path of instant enlightenment or perpetual bliss, as some might imagine. No, it's a path of fire, a fire that purifies, burns away illusions, and forges your highest self. If you've made it this far, you've likely already felt the intensity of this transformation. The universe doesn't choose the faint-hearted for this path. It chooses those who are ready to be transformed, chosen ones who are willing to step into the unknown, to face their shadows, and to emerge as something greater than they ever thought possible. But what does it mean to surrender to the fire? What does it mean to trust the pain, to embrace it, and to allow it to shape you into the person you are destined to become? Let's start with the pain. Pain, in all its forms, emotional, physical, spiritual, is often seen as the enemy. We run from it, numb it, avoid it at all costs. But on this journey, you begin to realize something profound. Pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to teach you. It's here to reveal what is broken, what is unaligned, what no longer serves you. Think about it. Every time you face pain in your life, hasn't it forced you to grow in some way? Hasn't it pushed you to let go of something that wasn't meant for you, or to step into a version of yourself that you didn't even know existed? Here's the paradox. The more you resist the pain, the more power it has over you. But when you lean into it, when you allow yourself to feel it fully, something remarkable happens. The pain begins to dissolve. It transforms into wisdom, into strength, into clarity. It's as if the fire of pain burns away the parts of you that are not real, leaving only your truest, most authentic self. So ask yourself, what pain are you holding on to right now? What would happen if you stopped running from it and allowed yourself to face it head on? This is where surrender comes in. Surrender is not about giving up. It's about letting go of control. It's about trusting that the universe knows what it's doing, even when you don't. And let's be honest, surrender is one of the hardest things you will ever do. We're wired to want control, to cling to certainty, to hold on to the familiar, even when it's no longer serving us. But on the spiritual journey, control is an illusion. The more you try to control the process, the more you suffer. True growth requires surrender. It requires you to let go of who you think you are so you can become who you are meant to be. But here's the thing about surrender. It doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means taking inspired action while trusting the outcome to a higher power. It means following your intuition, even when it doesn't make logical sense. It means saying yes to opportunities that scare you and no to things that no longer align with your truth. And when you do this, you begin to notice something incredible. The universe starts to conspire in your favor. Doors open that you didn't even know existed. People and resources show up at exactly the right time. Synchronicities become a daily occurrence, guiding you forward like breadcrumbs on the path. Have you ever experienced a moment when everything just seemed to fall into place, as if by magic? That's not a coincidence. That's alignment. And alignment is the reward of surrender. But here's the catch. Alignment doesn't come without challenges. The universe will test you. It will ask you to prove your commitment to the path. It will ask you to let go of things you thought you couldn't live without. And every time you say yes to the call, every time you choose faith over fear, your connection to the divine deepens. Now, let's talk about awakening. Awakening is often romanticized as a single, life-changing moment, a flash of insight that changes everything. And while those moments do happen, the truth is that awakening is an ongoing process. It's not something you achieve once and then move on from. It's something you live, day by day, moment by moment. It's a constant unfolding, a peeling back of layers, a deepening of your connection to the infinite. As you awaken, you begin to see the world in a completely new way. You see beyond the surface, beyond the illusions of the material world. You see the interconnectedness of all things, the divine intelligence that weaves through every moment, every experience, every being. And with this new vision comes a profound sense of responsibility. You realize that your thoughts, your actions, your energy, they all have an impact. You are not separate from the world. You are a co-creator of it. This realization is both empowering and humbling. Empowering because you understand that you have the power to shape your reality. Humbling because you realize that this power comes with great responsibility. You are no longer just living for yourself. You are living for something greater. You are a vessel for the divine, a channel for love, wisdom, and truth. And this is where the true work begins. Because being a chosen one is not about being special or superior. It's not about escaping the challenges of life. It's about stepping into your role as a servant of the divine. It's about using your gifts, your light, your unique perspective to uplift others, to heal the world, to bring more love and compassion into existence. And let me tell you, this work is not easy. It will challenge you in ways you can't even imagine. It will ask you to face your deepest fears, to confront your shadows, to let go of everything you thought you needed. But it will also give you the greatest gift you could ever receive, the gift of becoming yourself. Not the self that the world told you to be, but the self that you were born to be. The self that is infinite, eternal, and whole. The self that is connected to everything and everyone. Think about that for a moment. What would your life look like if you truly embodied your highest self? What would you be capable of? What kind of impact could you have on the world? The fire of transformation is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's the process through which you become who you were always meant to be. And as you walk through this fire, as you surrender to the pain and the unknown, you begin to realize something profound. The fire was never outside of you. It was always within you. It is your own divine light, burning away everything that is not you, so that you can shine brighter than ever before. So, I ask you, are you ready to step into the fire? Are you ready to trust the process, to surrender to the unknown, to become the person you were born to be? Because the choice is yours. The light is already within you. All you have to do is let it shine. How to live as a chosen one and fulfill your divine purpose. So here we are, at the final stretch of this transformative journey. By now, you've walked through the fire of growth, faced the pain of your own illusions, surrendered to the flow of the universe, and awakened to the infinite possibilities of your true self. But the question remains, what now? What does it mean to live as a chosen one? How do you take all of these lessons, all of this transformation, and translate it into a life of meaning, purpose, and impact? This is where the mastery of self comes in. Because spiritual awakening is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new one. A journey that asks you to integrate everything you've learned, to live your truth boldly, and to step fully into your divine purpose. To live as a chosen one is to live with intention. It means waking up every day with the awareness that your existence is not random, that you are here for a reason. But here's the thing about purpose. It's not something you find, it's something you become. It's not written in the stars or handed to you by some external force. It's written within you, in the very fabric of your being. And your only job is to uncover it, to align with it, to embody it. So let me ask you, what is calling to you right now? What lights you up, sets your soul on fire, makes you feel alive? What do you feel deeply compelled to create, to offer, to share with the world? Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing in the traditional sense. It doesn't have to look like what anyone else is doing. It simply has to be true to you. And here's the beautiful thing. When you align with your truth, when you live authentically and unapologetically, you create a ripple effect. Your light inspires others to shine their own. Your courage gives others permission to be themselves. Your love expands outward, touching lives in ways you may never even realize. That is the power of living as a chosen one. But purpose is not static. It evolves as you evolve. It grows as you grow. And this is where mastery comes in. It's the ongoing practice of staying connected to your truth, no matter what. It's about listening to your intuition, even when it leads you down a path you didn't expect. It's about trusting the process, even when it feels uncertain or uncomfortable. And most importantly, it's about showing up fully every single day, even when you don't feel ready. Life as a chosen one is not without its challenges. In fact, the challenges often intensify as you step into your purpose. Why? Because the more light you carry, the more shadows you attract. The more you grow, the more resistance you face, both from within and from the world around you. You may encounter doubt, fear, and insecurity. You may face criticism, judgment, or misunderstanding from others. And you will certainly be tested again and again to see if you are truly committed to this path. But here's the thing. Every challenge is an opportunity to deepen your mastery. Every test is a chance to strengthen your connection to your truth. And every obstacle is a lesson in disguise, teaching you exactly what you need to know to grow into the person you are meant to be. So when challenges arise, and they will, don't see them as setbacks. See them as invitations. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? What part of me is being called to grow? And how can I respond with love, courage, and integrity? Mastery is not about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes or never feeling fear. It's about showing up, even when it's hard. It's about being honest with yourself, even when the truth is uncomfortable. It's about choosing love over fear again and again, no matter how many times you fall. And let me tell you something, you will fall. You will stumble. You will doubt. You will struggle. But every time you get back up, every time you recommit to your path, you are strengthening your mastery. You are becoming more aligned, more resilient, more powerful. And as you walk this path, something incredible happens. You begin to notice that the external world mirrors your inner state. When you are aligned with your truth, life flows effortlessly. Opportunities appear, relationships deepen, and everything seems to fall into place. But when you're out of alignment, the universe gives you feedback. Things feel stuck, chaotic, or out of balance. This is not a punishment, it's a gift. It's the universe guiding you back to yourself, back to your truth, back to your purpose. Can you see how everything, even the challenges, is working for you, not against you? Now let's talk about service. Because living as a chosen one is not just about your personal growth. It's about how you contribute to the collective. It's about how you use your gifts, your light, your unique perspective to make the world a better place. Service is the highest form of mastery. It's the recognition that we are all interconnected, that your growth is my growth, and my healing is your healing. When you live in service to others, you align with the flow of the universe. You tap into a wellspring of abundance, love, and joy that is infinite and eternal. But service doesn't mean self-sacrifice. It doesn't mean neglecting your own needs or boundaries. True service comes from a place of wholeness, from the understanding that you can only give to others what you have first given to yourself. So take care of yourself, nurture your body, your mind, your soul. Fill your own cup so that it overflows, and let the overflow be your gift to the world. Because when you shine, you give others permission to shine. When you heal, you contribute to the healing of the collective. And when you live your truth, you inspire others to do the same. Living as a chosen one is not about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about being real. It's about showing up as you are, with all your imperfections and all your brilliance, and trusting that you are enough. It's about embracing the journey, with all its twists and turns, and knowing that every step is leading you closer to your true self. It's about living with courage, with integrity, with love. And it's about remembering every single day that you are not alone. You are part of something greater, something infinite, something divine. So I leave you with this question. What will you do with this gift of being chosen? How will you use your light, your wisdom, your unique perspective to make a difference in the world? Because the world needs you. It needs your light, your love, your truth. It needs you to step into your power, to live your purpose, to fulfill your destiny. You are here for a reason, and the time to shine is now. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Keep shining, keep growing, keep being the light that you are. Until next time, stay true to yourself, trust the process, and remember, you are infinite, you are powerful, and you are loved. And that, my friend, is how you live as a chosen one and fulfill your divine purpose.